Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? How we feeling today, y'all? How we doing? I'm trying to get this phone right. Yeah, we are in here. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in on this nice, somewhat cooler Sunday, compared to the weather that we had previously in the week. But by God's grace, we are here. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope we feeling well. I'm going to be your host for this live stream today. Of course, my name is Toddy, and again, I want to welcome everybody in. We got something that I really want to talk about specifically. So we're gonna get straight to the business. We're gonna get straight to the business. As I'm sure most of you, the vast majority of you watching or that will watch this, you know that ESPN put out a very extensive report based around the Falcons, the hiring process, and them not hiring Bill Belichick, and they also touched on in their opinion, touched on the fact. I guess that's kind of an oxymoron when I say in their opinion before I say that. But based on their sources and what they gathered, Robert Kraft and Arthur Blank talking. And Mr. Kraft telling Arthur Blank pretty much don't hire Bill Belichick. You can't trust him. There was a lot of other adjectives used in there also. I think they called him a narcissist and he's hard to work with and he's going to want things his way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was very extensive. Very, very, very. Now, being, of course, that we are the Falcons, I'm really not accustomed to us getting that kind of coverage on ESPN that extensive. I think it was about maybe 5,000 words. I know when I first seen it, I first got the notification and I started reading it. I was like, "Oh man, this is a long read," because I was looking at it on my cell phone. I said, "Well, I gotta wait till I get to the laptop and read this because it's pretty extensive." But Cliff Notes versions again, it was pretty much saying when the Falcons were flirting with the idea of hiring Bill Belichick. Belichick did his background on the Falcons, and the Falcons did their background on Belichick. Pretty much checked each other's references. And again, after talking with Robert Kraft, based on what ESPN said, Kraft advised Blank not to hire Bill Belichick. So they really went into detail about that. And like I said, I'm sure many of you have already read it or heard about it or what have you. And Damien Woody, he responded and he fired back at the Falcons. He fired back at Arthur Blank about ESPN's report. And ESPN, they've been doing this a long, long time. So, in my opinion, I would call them pretty credible. I'm not saying everything in that report is false, but it was pretty detailed to be filled with a bunch of lies. If that makes any sense to anybody, it was very, very detailed. So we're going to talk about what Damien Woody had to say about that because he really fired off on the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank, how the front office is ran, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to discuss that also. Let me talk to the chat real quick before we get into that. I got my guy Red in the building. Red says, "What's up? What's up, Red? How you doing, bro? I hope you feeling very good today. Y'all make sure to check out my guy Red also here on YouTube. One of the youngest, brightest minds in the Falcon content creation stratosphere here on YouTube. Does a lot of great work. So if you're not already subscribed to his channel, make sure you go check out Red on YouTube. Does a fantastic job at a very, very young age. So probably about 20 years from now, give or take some years, that's going to be our lead reporter on the Atlanta Falcons. So let's go ahead and attach to him now and show him a lot of love because he's going to be the main guy bringing this Falcon content in about 2 more decades. So shout out to you, Red. We got Daniel Beery Sports highlights in the building. Yo, what's up, Daniel? How we doing? What's poppin'? What's going on? We got our guy Ghost Peppers in the building. Ghost, how we doing, bro? What's going on? What's popping? Demetrius in here. What's happening, Demetrius? What's going on? Marsha in the building says, "What's up, fam? What's up with you? Hope everything is going good." We got our guy DJ Mo Lewis in the building. What's going on, Mo? How we feeling? How we doing, Mo? What's going on? We got Raymond Collins in the building. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, Raymond? How we feeling? What's going down? We got C Dub in the building. Shout out to C Dub also. Y'all make sure to check out C Dub. Also here on YouTube as well. I was actually listening to C Dub yesterday. Y'all know I'm getting old, so I get the days mixed up. But yesterday he had John Chuckery on his platform, and they had a great. I don't even really want to call it an interview. All due respect, because it was really more like a great conversation. I checked them out yesterday, and they talk wrestling, they talk football, Falcons, UGA, just a broad topic of conversation. So make sure to go check C Dub out. That was on yesterday, so go check him out on YouTube and make sure that you check that out as well. Mills in the building. What's up, Mills? In 1967, how you doing, man? Happy Sunday to you. We got Coach in the building. What's going on, Coach? How we doing today, bro? Hope all is going well. Says, what up, bro? Yeah, I totally believe this report. It makes so much sense. No way we interview Bill Belichick, then decide to hire Raheem Morris. Valid point. Y'all make sure to check out Coach also on YouTube as well. He's going to start his YouTube channel very soon. He's going to be focusing on defense. So that's really a niche that's untapped in the Falcons content creation community. So make sure that you check out Coach on YouTube as well. We got our guy Antonio Henderson in the building. What's going on, Antonio? How you doing, bro? How you feeling? What's going down? And speaking of Falcons content, we're gonna get back to our what we came here for also. But before we do that, speaking of Falcons content creative community, I was a part of a joint effort with other Falcons content creators also, where we did we did a video on our pick for the Falcons draft. Which we did on yesterday. I think that was yesterday. Like I said, I'm getting old, man. These days run together. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was yesterday. And it was about maybe 10 or 11 of us. Y'all really got to check that out. It was a joint effort. It was like a domino effect, and I was blessed to be a part of it, and it was a lot of fun. So y'all make sure to check that out. The people that were involved, One Time for the Fan, A1 Forever, Uncle Steve, Out of Your Falcons Mind, Twist the Torch, 95 North Falcon Show, The Dixon Way, Pound for Pound, Smitty Sports Machine, and also Big Low Country Sports. So y'all make sure to check out all those channels. I was included as well, of course, and it was a lot of fun. So y'all make sure to check out that video. Go to all those channels. Check out the video as we all gave our thoughts on the Falcons draft pick. And it went in order. It was very, 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 very cool. And I hope that we can continue to do things like that. Show a lot of unity, a lot of respect, and also a lot of gratitude amongst all the Falcons content creators. And shout out to everybody that was involved. Shout out to the people that weren't involved also, because at the end of the day, all us Falcons content creators, we all got one common goal, and that's to see the Falcons on top, raising that Lombardi. Sooner than later. Sooner than later. David Starks in the building. What's up, David? How you feeling, bro? How's it going? Says, what's up, tired of bleeding reports, but I'm not going to be too overly critical. Look at Belichick's last 5 or 6 drafts. They're horrible. The Patriots lack talent, and that's all of him. Fair point, true point. He comes with a lot of Super Bowl trophies, a lot of Lombardis. But as you mentioned, the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league, as our former head coach so famously said one day, Jerry Glanville, not for long, so that's very fair. His last drafts have been I want to say trash, but I want to be respectful also, but they have not been good. So you make a great point when you say that, David. C Dub says, huge thanks. It was fun having Chuckery on. I enjoy everyone stopping by. Thanks, Toddy, for bringing some questions also. Oh, you're very welcome, man. Don't mention it. Mill says, The pass on videos was dope. Something different. Enjoyed it. Let's ring the bell for that. Yeah, that was dope, man. It was a lot of fun too. A lot of fun, bro. Like I said, hopefully we can continue to do things of that nature as well. Also, y'all, I put a poll up, even though we have not discussed what Woody said yet. So maybe you want to wait until then, or you can, feel free to go ahead and vote on it now. But was Damien Woody's criticism valid of the Falcons? And of course, he has Patriots bias. He played for New England, won 2 Super Bowls with New England. He played under Bill Belichick. So he has a Patriots bias and he has a Belichick bias, naturally. And we are Falcons fans. So naturally, we have an Arthur Blank and Falcons bias. So I will ask you this, even though he probably didn't do it, but I will ask you to try to put some of your bias to the side. And once we discuss that, be truthful. Because we're gonna listen to what he said and we're gonna talk about what he said. And I want y'all to be honest with your boy, be honest with your dog. Was there any validity to what Damien Woody said? Antonio says, I honestly feel that Blank had every right to get that call from Kraft. Good friends don't let you make bad business decisions. That's true. Kraft just passed on this experience with Bill after Brady love. Very, very true. And that's what they do. Even though this is a high profile job, it's like any other job. You apply for a job, you go in for an interview. Hey, man, they're going to check your background. They're going to check your references, just like any other job. So you make a great point on that. Davis is not going to be critical of Kraft for what he did. Petty, yes. But Belichick hasn't been good for a while. Not to mention he ran Tom Brady out of town 2 years too early. Yes, he did. Tom went back and he went down to Tampa and won a Super Bowl, kind of unfortunately for us because it was somebody in our division and we didn't win it. But you're right, So as of right now, Tom is 1 up on Bill Belichick, kind of like the Shaq and Kobe thing, So who gonna win the most Lombards? I saw something also, y'all, that Tom Brady was kind of flirting with the idea of coming back. I forgot the quote he made, but I saw it this week. He said something about I think he's gonna get like a minority ownership in one of these teams, and if it's within the rules of him coming back, it's something that he'd be interested in. He said something like that. Feel free to Google it. I'm just trying to go off the top of my dome of what I remember. Lisa's in the building. Lisa, how you doing today? What's going on? Hope everything is going good. She's a hate tight Auburn draft. Almost. We're getting close. We are getting close. Gonna be here on Thursday. Looking forward to it very much. Y'all also make sure to check out me and Uncle Steve. We will do our annual live draft show on Thursday. I think the draft starts at around 8. We normally come on normally about 30 minutes before the official start of the draft. So I'll touch base with Steve probably tonight or sometime tomorrow, and then I'll be posting details on the YouTube page, and I'll post details also in the ABG group. But y'all make sure to check me and Steve out. We will be broadcasting live as we do every year. I think this is probably like our maybe 5th or 6th year. We've been doing it for a good little while now, but it's pretty much tradition at this point. We do it every single year, and we will be broadcasting live on Uncle Steve's Lounge. So I'm sure most of y'all are already subscribed to Uncle Steve, but if you're not, go ahead and subscribe to Uncle Steve now, and that way you don't miss the live draft show. Lisa says, my true feelings are this. I didn't want Belichick because of Super Bowl 51. Such pain, Lisa. The competitor in me wouldn't allow for my team to seek the services of the coach for the team that gave us our biggest loss. And that's fair. I remember as us as fans, as we talked about it, we discussed it. A lot of fans felt like that. And it's a fair feeling. It's very fair. It's like, look, the competitor in me, I don't want to do business with the guy who played a big part in the toughest loss in franchise history, the most embarrassing loss. Well, let's be honest, the most embarrassing loss in sports. So I don't really want to do business with that guy. And trust me, Lisa, a lot of people felt that way. Antonio says, it's like being criticized because you didn't invest in bad stock, because you got a tip from a good friend not to invest. Very true. And that's really, like you say, it's like that, and that's a very good comparison. That's an excellent analogy because at the end of the day, it really is an investment, at the end of the day. So you make a great point when you say that. Marcia says, I think Brady made Belichick for who he is today. But after Brady, they got Mac Jones. He couldn't get these Lombardis. You're right. You're right. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Tom is up in the Super Bowl count. Tom got 7 as a starting quarterback. Bill got 6 as a head coach. And I'm sure that's a burning desire. I'm not gonna say it's not the only burning desire because of course he wants to break Dan Schuler's record too. But I'm sure trying to at least get 7 to be even with Tom Brady to balance that out. I'm sure that's burning him to get the headset back on, get back on the sideline. It's not gonna happen this year, but he'll probably be back out there next year, I assume. James in the building. What's going down, James? Belichick wanted to change too much, and I think that was a concern of a lot of people in the Falcons front office. Probably Terry Fontenot, probably the head coach. Probably other executives. Like, look, we don't want to bow down and lose all our power and all our authority to Bill Belichick, and like Lisa say, the guy who helped embarrass us, in front of the entire world in that Super Bowl. So, good point. Brian Peoples in the building. What's up, Brian? Says, I'm not going to lie, Belichick would be nice down here, but he would have gotten Terry out the door, possibly. I'm sure that was a concern for Terry Fontenot as well. But yeah, getting back to Damien Woody, y'all. Again, that report came out, and it was a very, very long report. And right after it came out, it became a talking point, in mainstream media, definitely became a talking point in the Falcons community. We discussed it amongst ourselves as fans. And Damien Woody, he spoke out about it. I'm going to actually play. Let's go ahead and get to what a big reason why we came here. I'm going to play. Hold on, let me pause this. I'm going to play this on my phone. I don't want to share my screen and play it because right now I'm in good graces with YouTube, and I want to stay in their good graces because I was in the doghouse for a long time. So I don't want to run the risk of sharing something. I think this is probably from ESPN, and I don't want to get no copyright strikes. So I don't want YouTube to come down and ban me. So I'm going to try to play this from my cell phone. This was on, what was this called? This was on Unsportsmanlike Radio, on ESPN. This is Damien Woody. He won 2 Super Bowls with Bill Belichick. He played there for 5 years, and I think he was an offensive guard, if memory serves me correctly. He's, of course, retired now. But I'm going to play it, y'all, from my phone. Hopefully, y'all will be able to hear this. Now, y'all do me a favor, everybody's watching in the chat. Let me know if you can't hear this. Again, I don't want to share it. I could share my screen, but I don't want to share it. So if you're not able to hear this, please let me know, and then I'll try to find an alternative way to play it. But the clip is about a minute long, so we're going to listen to it. But if y'all can't hear it, let me know. I'm playing this from my phone.
Arthur Blank wants a family atmosphere. He wants it. He likes. Can we stop right there, please? Can we stop right there? Thank you. What the hell is a family environment? I thought it was about winning. Everything's about winning. It's about winning championships. Everything comes with winning. I get so sick of this whole, we want to collaborate. Collaborate. What the hell does that even mean? Like, we're trying to win championships. You're talking about, like, a football savant, a football genius. And he's not even, like, I guess this, like, panel of people down in Atlanta, Arthur Blake's confidants that, help him make a decision. And Bill's not even, like, in your top 3. I can't even take you seriously. You're talking about the greatest coach in NFL history. And he's not even in your top 3, all because we want to be collaborative.
All right, Mill said the sounds was good. The sound was good. Now, he said a lot there, y'all. He said he can't even take you seriously, speaking of the Falcons, speaking about Arthur Blank. Bill Belichick is not even in your top 3. Let's start there. Obviously, we needed a head coach. We interviewed, I think it was 14 different candidates. Now, I want to ask y'all, and go ahead and make sure to vote on the poll. Do you think Belichick should have been in the top 3? Because, again, going back to this ESPN report, based on this report, Belichick wasn't even in the top 3 finalists at the end. Damien Woody says he can't even take us seriously. He kind of mocked our collaboration environment that we have in Flowery Branch. You know, as we all know, Falcons fans, Arthur Blank, Fontenot, Raheem Morris, you know, even Arthur Smith, they all talk about collaboration. So he kind of mocked that. He's like, collaborate? Like, what is this family environment? Let's go to Disney World and be a big family and have a picnic and, you know, drink sodas and eat pimento cheese sandwiches. Like, what are y'all doing in Atlanta? It's supposed to be about winning Super Bowls. So I really want to know, y'all, like, and again, let's try to take our Falcon shades off. Do you think he had any kind of point? Was there any validity to his criticism? Of course, he's being biased now. He's a Patriots guy, won 2 Super Bowls with him. But do y'all think there were any validity? Let me know in the comments, like, what do y'all think? Any validity to that at all? You know, interested to know what y'all think. Antonio says Brady left because of Belichick, not Kraft. And Brady made sure by winning another Super Bowl the very next year with Tampa. Yeah, and that was big on Tom. Tom he dang near came close to won the following season also as well. Tony also said that made Belichick look incompetent, especially after his draft picks after Brady left. Yeah, his draft was very, very questionable. I think he had a defensive coordinator as the offensive coordinator. It was just a lot of questionable stuff going on. But going back to the ESPN report, it says that Belichick told Mr. Blank, and now this part I do firmly believe is true because Blank echoed the same sentiment that Belichick told Arthur Blank he was willing to work with Terry Fontenot and everybody in Flowery Branch. He had bought into the collaboration part of working with the Falcons. The report said that, and Arthur Blank said that as well. So in my eyes and my mind, that part of it is true. You know, so let me know what y'all think. You know, does Woody have any valid criticism at all, or you know, is he just in his feelings about Brady Check? Brady Check. I just created the name Brady Check. Belichick. IQ in the building. What's up, IQ? Says Patriots weren't hitting on their draft picks or hiring good coordinators. Not sure why everyone was so on board with Belichick, other than nostalgia. I was more upset we didn't offer Harbaugh the job. I think we were coming around offering Harbaugh the job. You know, he had a scheduled second interview, but obviously, you know, he took the Chargers job. That's probably the job that he really, really wanted it. But I'm sure if that second interview had transpired, I'm sure the Falcons probably would have offered him. But, you know, he kind of had his heart already set on where he wanted to go. You know, they already got a quarterback in place there, so made sense for him. Made sense for him. Let's see. Antonio says Woody was taken up for Belichick like Bill had picks of him at one of his Diddy out the parties. Oh boy. I know they ain't partying with old Diddy in on Star Island in Miami and Beverly Hills in LA. Ricky says, what exactly is Damien Woody defending here? Blank has every right to run his organization however he wants. Valid point. Belichick is old, and in my opinion, isn't a long-term answer as head coach. Good, great comment. And I'm sure once it got to crunch time with these decisions, I'm sure that was a vital part of what the Falcons brass thought too. Like, hey, you know, we would prefer to have a guy that's going to be here 7-8 years at minimum. That's kind of everybody's preference when you hire a head coach, because I don't really think any franchise likes going through this cycle of continuously hiring coaches and hiring coaches and hiring coaches. So you want a guy who's going to be here for a minimum 7-8 years. If things are going really well, he'll be here longer. That's good for the team. Not a guy who's going to be here 2-3 years and I'm out of here. Y'all got to do this cycle again. So I'm sure that was a big part of it also. Mills in 1967 says Woody was in his feelings. So Mills said it sounded him like he was in his feelings about how the Falcons operate. Ghost Pepper says Bill Belichick has 8 rings. Nobody can ever take that away from him. You're right. But at 71, I'd have to know he's in it for several years at least, and that there is a solid succession plan. Yes, great point. And somebody else just mentioned it also. A few comments before yours is like, look, he's 71, man. He's at this point, not saying that he probably doesn't still love coaching, which I'm sure he probably still does, but is he more in it for the love of coaching at this point for an extended period of time, or is he chasing records? Is he trying to get Don Shula? Is he trying to match Tom Brady? If he breaks Don Shula record in 2 years, does he quit? So that's something you got to consider also as an owner, and also whoever was collaborating without the blank in the decision making. Davis's criticism of the family atmosphere is valid, but his bias is showing because he hasn't mentioned Belichick's recent failures. Top 3, yes, but I'm fine with him not getting a job. Great comment. And I take from Davis' comment like both things could be true. David said, yeah, criticism is valid. I'm not speaking for David, but David probably thinking this, said, yeah, sometimes I criticize the family environment. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's just try to win, So yeah, he's saying, yeah, that is valid. But at the same time, you got to look at the other side of the paper too. If from the Falcons perspective, like, yeah, you got the 8 Super Bowls, but again, what have you done for me lately, Bill? It's been rough on you lately, Bill. Your quarterbacks that you drafted, Mac Jones, he didn't work. He's not even in the building anymore. So it is very, very valid. Some questionable staff decisions by Bill Belichick. So I totally understand where David is coming from with that comment. Brian says, sounds like Woody is D. Ryan Belichick. Possibly. Antonio says, no validity because he's a player, not an owner, and he has nothing to lose. So Antonio saying he has no skin in the game. Blank in the organization as a whole had tons to lose with Belichick, because no way would Bill have just wanted to be a coach. And again, that was a big concern, I think, from the Falcons upper management. And y'all know we was getting reports about that too. Like, a lot of general managers and the coaches, they wanted like, hey man, we don't want this to turn to a dictatorship. And in that ESPN report, they hit on that a lot. Like look, Bill gonna try to grease you down and brown nose you in the beginning. Like, I'm cool with working with everybody, but once he signed that contract, it's gonna be Bill way. It's Terry, you get out the way. I don't care what you got to say. This is my way. I got these 6 Super Bowls as the head coach, 8 Super Bowls total. Like, what can you tell me? I was winning Super Bowls when you was, just getting your driver's license. So, valid point. Coach says his points are absolutely valid. So Coach said the points are valid. You cannot say the second greatest coach is not in the top 3. Especially when Bill Belichick and Arthur Blank said he okay with not being a GM and just coaching. No way in hell. I can dig it, Coach. Coach is saying it is valid. It is valid. And that's really what I want to hear, not saying that I'm trying to influence anybody's opinion, but I just want everybody to be honest on how you really feel. Taking the Falcons filter off, is there any validity to that? How is Bill Belichick not in your top 3? You're telling me your top 3 included guys who has never won a regular season game, much less a Super Bowl as a head coach. You telling me your top 3 included like 2 assistants who have never put on the big headset and set in the big office in team's headquarters, So a lot of ways to look at this. There's a lot of ways to look at this. Diva, what's up, Diva? How you doing today? Hope everything's going well. Says no, because Belichick hadn't updated to new technology and other things. He was getting out of touch with this new era. The end of the year review the players gave about New England, it was not good. I didn't even see the review that they gave after the season. I got to go check that out. But you make good points also. And that's another criticism that I've heard about Bill Belichick. I was like, man, he just outdated. I don't want to say the game has passed him by, but a lot of people say, hey, man, the game has kind of passed Bill Belichick by. He's stuck in the past. He's stuck in that old world of what the Patriots were doing. But this is a new era now. New era, even new rules, new players, new mentality. Can he reach these players in 2024 and 2025 like he was reaching them in 2005, 2006? David Starr says, I also have a problem that his hires don't work outside of him. And parentheses, then Tom Brady. Reed's coaching tree works, so does McVay's. You can't be the smartest person in the room all the time. Good point. Very, very good point. A lot of his guys who have branched out to become head coaches, they have not worked. A lot of them have came back to work for Bill Belichick after it did not work for them as head coaches. So great point. C-Dub said, does every team need to discuss their coaching hire with Damien? If it involves Bill Belichick, maybe so. Says just action. Says just action. Shout out to the iTest also for the super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat as always. iTest definitely appreciate all the support and love that you always show the show. Thank you very much. And that's John Harris from the iTest. Y'all make sure that y'all check out the iTest here on YouTube as well. They come on every Wednesday at 10 p.m. So if you're not already subscribed to them, make sure that you run up the subscriptions, run up the likes, run up the comments, run up the shares, show them the same kind of love that you show me and other Falcons content creators. iTest says he was absolutely correct. He was absolutely correct. Belichick cast too big of a shadow over the ineptitude of this franchise. This team can't make good decisions correctly. And that's some of the balance I wanted to hear. I really wanted to hear both sides of the opinions. I want to hear the opinions of the people that saying, man, Woody just D-riding. Like somebody said in the comments, like, man, he just in his feelings. He D-riding. And I wanted to hear opinions like John from the iTest, coach from Coach's Corner. I want to hear both sides of the spectrum. And John is saying, like, look, how is he not top 3? How was he not top 3? You telling me of all your resumes you looked at those 6 Super Bowls and you said, well, no, he's not he don't have the cachet to coach the Atlanta Falcons of all teams. John also says the team can't make decisions correctly. So I definitely can respect that comment a lot. And that's, like I say, I want to hear both sides of the spectrum. David says, okay, I just read that one. My bad. Let me catch up. David says, make sure you hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button for your dog. Thank you. Please hit that like button for me. Y'all do appreciate that. That helps get the video out in the algorithm. Helps the channel grow as well. So thank you, Diva. I do appreciate that. Ghost says, excuse me. Bill Belichick spends 35 years bending breaking rules, employing espionage and downright cheating his way to the top. Hey, I see no lies. They Patriots done been involved in all kind of cheating scandals, Flakegate, Spygate, and think about it this way too, Ghost Peppers. That's just what we know about. That's just what we know about. You know what I mean? If you get 2 speeding tickets in 1 week, that's just the 2 times you got caught. You've been speeding all week. You just got caught them 2 times. So what is it that we don't know about? You know, great point. CW said, I get what he's saying, but he's paid to be alive. That's a good point too. Cole says, you all full of Coach kind of banging in the comments too. Who cares if he is here long term? If he comes and gets us a ring in year 1 and leave in year 2, who going to open their mouth and say it was a bad hire? Right. Hey, you win me a Super Bowl 1 year, you can retire, you can quit, you can pull a Bobby Petrino on us. It wouldn't matter to me. Just win that Super Bowl. I'm hungry for a Super Bowl, y'all. I'm sure y'all are too. Y'all, we got some more people who done came in. So those of you who've already been on the stream, I hope y'all don't mind, but I want to play the audio again for the people who may not have heard it. Just to catch everybody up, y'all. We're talking about Damien Woody, former 2-time Super Bowl winner, played for the New England Patriots, I think, for 5 years. Won 2 Super Bowls with them, played under Bill Belichick. Essentially what's going on, long story short, short story long, is after that big, long ESPN report about the Atlanta Falcons not hiring Bill Belichick, why they did not hire Bill Belichick, and also allegedly Robert Kraft advising Arthur Blank not to hire Bill Belichick. Like the very next day, Damien Woody fired off on the Falcons. He went on TV and he flamed us up. Not so many words. He was like, "Who are y'all Atlanta Falcons to not have Bill Belichick as a top 3 candidate? You know, you guys are hot in this family atmosphere and collaboration, but it's all about winning. So what are y'all doing?" So what I want to do is I want to play the audio again for those of you who are just coming in who may not have heard it. So I'm gonna play that again real quick. It's only a minute, so bear with me while I do play it again. Here we go.
Arthur Blank wants a family atmosphere. He wants it. He likes. Can we stop right there, please? Can we stop right there? Thank you. What the hell is a family environment? I thought it was about winning. Everything is about winning. It's about winning championships. Everything comes with winning. I get so sick of this whole, we want to collaborate, collaborate. What the hell does that even mean? Like, we're trying to win championships. You're talking about, like, a football savant, a football genius. And he's not even, like, I guess this, like, panel of people down in Atlanta, Arthur Blank's confidants that, help him make a decision. And Bill's not even, like, in your top 3. I can't even take you seriously. You talk about the greatest coach in NFL history, and he's not even in your top 3, all because we want to be collaborative. Well, Arthur.
Yeah, so he definitely read us the riot act when he said that I can't even take you seriously. But that's coming from Damien Woody. Y'all let me know. We got a poll up. Does Damien Woody's criticism have some validity to it? Or is he just in his feelings, So let me know y'all thoughts, man. I'm interested to hear what everybody thinks. Antonio said Floria and Woody both need to just stop talking because Floria, I hope I'm saying that right, has an agenda being a Vikings fan and Woody being Belichick's nut holder. Yeah, he has been trying to advocate that they take our first round draft pick for tampering with him being a Vikings fan, like he said. Whether the Falcons tampered or not, I have no idea. I have no clue. But by chance, I knock on wood, by chance they do find us guilty of tampering. They ain't gonna take they're not gonna take a first round pick. They're gonna probably take like 4th, 5th round. If they really want to spank us hard, they'll probably take a 3rd rounder. But I say like a 4th round pick, something like that. Maybe a 4th and a 7th rounder. But I don't think it's gonna be anything more than the 3rd at the very worst. Let's see. Ghost Pepper says, Kraft has never forgiven Belichick for running Brady away. You're probably right. Because from what I've read, from what I've heard, Kraft never wanted Brady to leave New England. He wanted him to retire a Patriot. And it was really Bill Belichick and Brady who really couldn't get along. And as we know, eventually Brady left first, and they just showed Bill the door this year. So that's pretty much how that went down. Ghost Pepper said, if y'all thought Arthur Smith was arrogant, Bill Belichick made something like Mr. Rogers. Oh, Lord, boy. That'd be kind of tough, having two super arrogant MFers consecutive coaching hires for the Falcons. Raheem Morris, he doesn't come off like that. His personality and demeanor seems like it's night and day from what we had with Arthur Smith. We will see if that's a gift or a curse once we get to playing football. Once the pads get put on and the whistle get to blowing and all that stuff. So we'll know sooner than later. Diva says, I think this was a good thing for Bill Belichick to update and modernize a bit. I enjoyed him on the Pat McAfee show, showing a different side of him after the article came out about the Falcons not hiring him. Let me ring the bell for that. I'm glad you brought that up, Diva. And I agree with you. That's not the first time I've seen Belichick on TV. I think I seen him calling one of the college games too. But his it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Because when he's not in head coach mode, he just seems like such a likable person. It's like he's just totally different. His tone is different. His body language is different. He smiles, he's engaging. And it's just totally, I don't know. I guess he just put on that war face. And when he's a head coach and he just goes into that war mode, and when he's not coaching, you just see a totally different side of him. And again, I'm glad you brought that up. The Pat McAfee. And Diva, I think he was on the Pat McAfee show like right after this report came out from ESPN. And one thing I found funny about him on the Pat McAfee show is the background he decided to use. The background he decided to use. Let's look at that together. You see, after that report came out, he went on Pat McAfee. He made sure those trophies was in the background. He made sure those 6 Lombardis was in the background. And I hate to go here, but as we all know, one of those 6 Lombardis was won in Houston, Texas against our Atlanta Falcons. One of those 6. I think this was a conscious choice by Belichick after this report came out with the whole Arthur Blank and Robert Kraft thing. I think subconsciously, maybe subconsciously isn't the right word. I think this was a kind of like an indirect jab at the Falcons. Y'all, am I reading too much into that? Because I've seen Belichick be a guest panel on a lot of shows, but it's the first time I've seen him flaunt them Lombardis like that. And again, this is right after the whole ESPN report comes out. He just so happens, coincidentally, to sit behind them big Lombardi trophies. Do y'all think that was like an indirect jab at Arthur Blank? Like, okay, well, you had me thinking I got the job, and you went ahead and hired Raheem Morris after I thought I had the job. After you gave me the indication that I'm probably gonna get the job, because they were saying in that report, Bill Belichick thought he had the job. And ESPN is not the first publication to report that. They were reporting that long time ago, before Raheem Morris got hired. So ESPN was not the first people to say that Belichick felt he had the job. And y'all remember there was some reports came out that said Belichick was sour at Arthur Blank because Blank kind of led him to believe he had the job. So is this his way of taking a little subtle jab at Blank? Let me know what y'all think. Going back to the comments, Coach says, all bias. The same thing was said about Andy Reid. Out of touch, can't pick talent, etc. A great coach is a great coach. Sometimes a change of team can mean everything. Hey, another great comment, Coach. Because I remember that same stuff they were saying about Andy Reid. Well, man, Andy Reid need to retire. He need to retire. He lost. He need to retire. He goes to Kansas City, 3 Super Bowls. At the rate he's going, he probably can win 2 more if he decided to ride that thing out long term. You know? If he decided to really ride it out long term, he win 2 or 3 more with Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes not even 30 years old yet. Scary thing about Mahomes is he may not have hit his prime yet. That's the scary thing about Patrick Mahomes. He may not even hit his prime yet. So, yeah, it's a great point. Antonio says he was top 3 with Brady. Do you think Cousins would have came here if Belichick had been hired as a coach? And would Terry have had the freedom he has now with McKay not in the picture? Great questions. Do I think Kirk Cousins comes here with Bill Belichick as the coach? That's a great question, man. And we can look at it a lot of different ways because of Bill Belichick is a coach. Then, of course, the Raheem Morris connection with Cousins isn't there. Zach Robinson isn't here. And you're looking at a totally different offensive system on the Belichick. I don't know. I don't know. Now, money does talk. And Arthur Blank was still ready to cut that check for a new quarterback. Good question. And you also says, would Terry have had the freedom he has now with McKay not in the picture? Honestly, probably not. Even though Belichick would have probably tried the best as he could to be open to everybody's input initially. But after like almost 40 years coaching, man, he's just used to doing things his way, I'm sure. Probably not. I think Terry would have still had some input, but probably not the same he has now with Raheem Morris because Bill Belichick is just such a dominating figure, such a, dominating persona, So probably not. Ghost Pepper says the Belichick-Brady combination was magic. We have seen that once Brady left, he was truly the straw that stirred the drink. I can see that. Because, again, Brady goes to Tampa, brand new team, first year Super Bowl. And just to repeat myself, he almost won it again. he didn't call far from winning it the second time. What did they lost that game on the last drive of the final drive of the game, if my memory serves me correctly. Raven says, I need to hear this whole take. I wonder if he had this fire towards Robert Kraft. Interesting question. And I haven't seen the entire take. So I may need to go back and watch that myself to see what he says about Robert Kraft. Because that, again, this ESPN report, Kraft didn't have really nothing good to say about Belichick. Freddie in the building. What's up, Freddie? Says, I'm a Falcons for life. He's telling the truth. Let's ring the bell for that. Freddie say, hey, man, Falcons is my team, but I gotta keep it real, man. He's telling the truth. Freddie said he's telling the truth. And Tony said, I can't give Bill all the credit for the Super Bowl rings because, in my opinion, the majority of that is all Brady. If it's his coaching alone, why hasn't he had success since? He really hasn't. I think they went to the playoffs the year after Tom left at 10-7 with Mac Jones, if memory serves me correctly. But since then, it's been nothing. Since then, it kind of looked like us. Actually, they've been about worse as us since that one playoff appearance after Brady left. I think they're drafting 3 this year, so had a pretty rough year last year. Ghost Pepper says NFL is much different than it was even 15 years ago. You're absolutely correct. Coaches have to be able to relate to the players. Coaches also don't tend to get to rule with an iron fist any longer. You are absolutely correct. I think this whole collaborative thing that we hear the Falcons talk about a lot is starting to become more commonplace in a lot of front offices, from what I have gathered, and that goes to your point of ruling with that iron fist. It's not like it was, back in the days 15 years ago. But football has changed drastically in 2024 as opposed to what it was in 2009, 2010. The rules have changed quite a bit then, and like you say, relatability. Can you relate to that 23, 24-year-old? At your age and your old school vibe, your old school way, especially with Tom no longer there, because Tom was kind of the liaison between Belichick, team, Brady. Brady kind of kept everything running smoothly. And with that Brady factor no longer there, it's like, and like a lot of y'all are saying, you see what happened once Brady was out of the picture. Lisa says, Belichick is petty like Brady. This was a dig. Let's ring the bell for that. Lisa, I thought so too. It was definitely a dig. He is petty like Tom, because Tom like to rub that in at 28-3 in every chance he gets. And I think there was a dig. Belichick coming in there, sitting right behind all them Super Bowl trophies. The day after, the story breaks. Davis is definitely a shot at us. That's what I thought too. I'm glad that y'all agree, because I'm like, man, am I being too over analytical with this? Am I looking for something that's not there? But he just sitting in front of them Lombardi trophies, like, okay, Atlanta, cool. I didn't get the job. Y'all didn't get the Super Bowl. Hard. Diva says, oh no, it was a straight up flex. It was a straight up flex title. Okay. All right. So everybody agree. It was a jab at the NFL period. I'm here to modernize, and what better way than Pat McAfee, also known as the Rebel. All right. So yeah. So we are all in agreement on that. Shout out to also the eye test. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it very, very much. Thank you very much for always showing love and support to the show. So we got to ask ourselves, do we want to win pretty as choir boys, or do we want to win whatever it takes to win? Or do we want to do whatever it takes to win? We are too damn nice and accepting losing. I like that comment for the fact that that's been something that Falcons fans have discussed amongst each other for a very long time. Like we tend to be the nice guys, the lovable losers, the choir boys. That's a conversation that I've had with a lot of people before. Are we really like that? How can we get away from that? And a lot of times we say, okay, we got to change the coach. We got to change the culture. We thought Arthur Smith would come in and change the culture. But 3 consecutive losing seasons later, it's like almost like we still where we started at 3 years ago. We're still where we started at 1985, 2005, I mean, John, is that a regional thing? And when I say regional thing, is it the Southern hospitality playing a part in that? That's just how we move down south here in Atlanta? I don't know. Brian says, I think he was spot on with his assessment. Let's ring the bell for that. So Brian says, hey, man, he has a point. He does have a point. Dave says the Patriots have one of the worst rosters in the entire NFL, and Belichick had a lot to do with that. I knew eventually some shrill like Damien Woody would run his mouth. Let's ring the bell for that too. So Davidson, look, Woody can say whatever he want to say. He can say whatever he want to say, but the facts are, your guy, your coach, the guy who you won Super Bowls with, what has he done? He's picking third, or not him, but they are now picking third in the draft for a reason. He technically didn't get fired, but they showed him the door for a reason. You know, Brady left. Now you got him out of the way, so you really got 100% of the show now. What did you do with it? You ran the most prestigious NFL franchise to the ground when Tom left. You can't even win 5 games anymore. Fair point. Ghost Pepper says Bill handled his business a certain way for decades. Blank and the decision makers were to say the least uncomfortable with what they had seen from him and didn't believe he would be different here. And that's another common sentiment that I have seen, I have read. It was just like the person in Bill Belichick, he's just too demanding. And yeah, you got the Super Bowls, but you don't have the wins recently to have this kind of gumption in our franchise. It is not a direction that we're trying to go right now at this particular time. Now, there is a certain part of me, y'all, that thinks, and this is just my opinion, I didn't read this nowhere, but there's a certain part of me that thinks that Arthur Blank did want to hire him, at least in the beginning. He wanted to give him the job. I think after the first interview, Blank was like, okay, this is my guy. I want to hire this guy. And I kind of think that once Blank went back and talked to the other decision makers within the franchise, they pushed back. I don't know, Arthur. Bill Belichick. Well, when you do the second interview, let us all meet him and let's have a mastermind with us all here. I really honestly think, this is just my opinion, I might be wrong, but I think guys like Richmond Kane, Terry Fontenot, Greg Beatles, whoever else be in that room, I think they taught Arthur how to hire him. And I think this is where some of this subtle friction is at. Because I think after that first interview on that yacht, Arthur Blank sent that private jet up there to Massachusetts, they went on whatever remote island they was on, I guess Caribbean, wherever, I don't know. Wined and dined him. I think Blank probably did give him an impression like, yeah, you my guy. I'm going to bring the rest of the crew here, as a formality, but you the guy. And I think they taught old Arthur Blank out of hiring him. And Bill probably feels a way about that. And maybe rightfully so. Maybe rightfully so. Especially if my presumption is correct. So, interesting topic. Demetri says, once Tommy Boy left, old man Bill didn't do anything with the Patriots. Not at all. Again, he picking top 3 this year. They about to draft the quarterback top 3 this year. Dave says ultimately this is between Belichick and Kraft. The Falcons are a convenient punching bag. I can see that also. And it's interesting also that Belichick kind of left on sour terms with Kraft, left on sour terms with Brady as well. And you're right, the Falcons could be caught in the crossfires. My guy, Mr. CDX for life. What's up, man? This is What Up, Titan ABG, checking in from Coachella. Okay, let's ring about Coachella, man. You out there having a good time, bro. Enjoy the show, man. Well, enjoy the festival, I guess I should say, man. I know you enjoy yourself. Dave says, Belichick's dictator-type style of coaching only works for so long. Yeah, and I think, again, getting back to, like, modern NFL, younger players, and just, society is changing, too. Maybe his style has played out. Maybe his philosophies have played out. Davis says Belichick is 16 games below 500 pre and post Brady. Before that injury that led to the era of Brady, reports were that assistant coaches were trying to sell their homes for the fear of him being fired. I can see that. I could definitely see that. I think he lost. I think he got fired in the Cleveland job too, if memory serves me correctly. right before he went to New England. And Tony says old coaches are set in their ways. We brought Dean Pease out of retirement in 2021. I never thought that was a good idea. And his defenses couldn't keep up with the new offensive coaches' playbooks. Belichick better go join Pete. Pete Carroll. Shout out to Pete Carroll. I want to know, are they friends or do they talk at all? Coach says at the end of the day, this franchise has 0 rings. We have hired all sorts of coaches. The ones you haven't hired is the best coach to coach. And if winning is truly the goal, you absolutely hire him. So coach saying we should have hired him. Coach is saying we should have gave him the job. Should have set our pride to the side. Maybe Blank shouldn't have listened to Rich McKay and fought noise and gave him the job. Because to me, it's obvious to me that obviously Belichick wanted the job. And again, in my personal opinion, I think initially Blank wanted to give him a job. And he got talked out of it. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Dave says stop the nicknames and the slogan start there. I agree. Just about football. Demetrius says the Falcons need to finish their story how Cody Rhodes finished his story at WrestleMania. Let's ring the bell for that. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Wouldn't it be something, man? Cody Rhodes and the Atlanta Falcons in a 12-month calendar period. I'm here for it. John Higgins III in the middle. What's going on, John? How you doing today, buddy? So, Toddy, what's happening with you? I'm chilling, bro. What have I missed just coming in? We were talking about Damien Woody firing off on the Atlanta Falcons for not hiring Bill Belichick. Damien Woody went on ESPN and he just pretty much said, lack of better words, like we're not a serious franchise. We're not serious about winning. How could the Falcons of all team not have Bill Belichick as a top 3 coaching candidate? He read us the ride at, John. He gave us the business. He went on like a minute-long tirade giving the Falcons the business. Excuse me. And we reacted to it. They said, let's be honest, Tyler. Belichick is a great coach, but making Matt Patricia, the offensive coordinator, spoke of petty. I don't know what he was thinking with that. I still to this day don't like. Why is he your offensive coordinator? I don't know what Bill Belichick was thinking. I really don't. And that could be some of the reason they got him out of there too. Making decisions like that. And the thing about that decision, that's so Bill Belichick like, or the old Belichick, like, dog, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Antonio Henderson's Janet Jackson song was "What Have You Done for Me?" What have you done for me lately? Yeah, that used to be my jam back in the day. Belichick was a good coach with Brady. It has done nothing since Blank was on board until he spoke to crowds and his minions. Yep, I agree. Again, just to repeat myself, I think Blank wanted him to get the job or wanted to give him the job. But like you say, once he spoke to the crowd, once he spoke to his crew, like, nah, this ain't the right guy. This ain't the right guy. Let's keep looking, Arthur. Let's keep looking. John says, I'm so glad he didn't. Belichick did not fit here at all. And a lot of people are saying that, John. And some people are saying that we made a mistake by not hiring him. And that's why I really want to discuss this with y'all, to get everybody's viewpoints. TJ Hook 47, what's up? Checking in from Twitter. What's going on, TJ? Says, I'm glad they did talk Arthur out of hiring Bill. A lot of people are. A lot of people, for a lot of the reasons that we've already discussed today, just said he's not the guy. Maybe 5 to 10 years ago, yeah, of course you give him the job. But 2024, at his age, with his current resume, the last few years in New England, it did not warrant giving him the job. A lot of people feel that way. David says, for those of you all on the greatness, please go read the downfalls that have been happening at the Patriots organization over the past years. There's a reason Bill was released. NFL is a business, definitely a business. And he's out of a job. The most decorated NFL head coach in history wanted a job and couldn't get a job. That says a lot too. So you got a very valid point there. Dave says, guys, Belichick had designs on taking over the Falcons entire organization. I'm sure he probably did want to do that. He wanted to come put his imprint on the entire organization. on everything from top to bottom. And again, I just think Arthur Blank's fellow executives was just like, nah, man, like, no, Arthur, we can't do this, bro. Nah, we can't let you do this, man. We cannot do this. TJ Hook says Arthur has no bigger confidant than Rich McKay, and Kraft was saying Bill Belichick couldn't be trusted. Yeah. And that was scathing too, man. That was real scathing. You know, Robert Kraft saying you can't trust Belichick. Like, yeah, he gonna brown nose and say all the right things at first, but man, once that contract is signed, gonna be a different person. And that article, like I said, it dug deep into what happened. I just wasn't used to the Falcons getting covered that extensively like they did. But they went way deep into it. And Tony says Krabs come up with Blank carried a lot of weight with Blank, and a look at how much control Belichick had with the Patriots. Head coach, general manager Moore, and what did that get the pass after Brady? Nothing at all. Not picking in the top 3 of the NFL draft. Nothing at all. Diva says, can I ask, do those opposed think Coach Raheem was a bad hire? So Diva says, for everybody that's opposed, do you think Raheem was a bad hire? And that was a mixed decision hire, I think, too. I think a lot of people looked at when the Falcons announced we were hiring Raheem Morris, a lot of people had the screw face like, who? Raheem? I do think more people have got on board now after the coaching staff has filled itself out, after some free agent moves, and after just hearing Raheem talk at press conferences. You know, he has sold more people to the idea of him being a Falcons head coach, but there's still a lot of people like, this is not a good hire, man. We're gonna be doing this again in 3 years. I still talk to people today that say, man, y'all gonna be looking for we're gonna be looking for a new head coach 3 seasons from now. Watch what I tell you. Watch. You hired Raheem Morris and you gave Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed. Like, Falcons still the Falcons. I've been hearing that sentiment a lot too. They society Belichick was attempting to low-key sabotage his owner. They had a serious beef about the quarterback position. I know there was a lot going down there. Brady, Kraft, Belichick, even Jimmy G. So amongst all that winning, I know there's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors. And what you saying that, Dave, I can almost guarantee when the dust settles on this, there is going to be either a 30 for 30 or some Netflix special on the Patriots. Kind of like how they did the Showtime Lakers, how they did the Bulls, how they're probably going to do Shaq and Kobe and Phil Jackson. They're going to do one of those specials on the Patriots. And a lot of things are going to be revealed whenever they do it. John says, hell no, Bill Belichick. Oh, okay, we don't need a dictator in the White House, nor do we need a dictator Cottondale, Atlanta Falcons. In the name of Bill Belichick, we didn't need him. So John said no. Did not need him. Antonio says, I would take it one further. Give us Pat Brady instead of Pat Belichick. After Ryan left, with Smith as the coach and we make a playoff run, you can't credit Pat's rings on Coach B alone. I can see that. I definitely would have took Pat's Brady. Definitely would have took old Tom, man, as a quarterback, even with Arthur Smith, because you got a guy like Tom Brady. Brady's kind of like, when he was playing in that time, he was kind of like a LeBron. Okay, you're the coach, but I'm kind of going to run the show on the field or on the court, in the same vein, if that makes any sense. Lisa says, who has Belichick proven himself to be without Brady? He's proven he's the worst. He's proven is the word because each coach has to prove himself each season. Y'all acting like this Belichick is the same Belichick. He's not. Definitely not prime Belichick. Not even close to it, actually. When he had Brady, like, they didn't even have no losing seasons. I don't think Brady and Belichick ever had a losing season, did they, y'all? Not that I can recall. I think they ever had a losing season. I test with the super chat. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate the support, my brother. Says, I have a feeling that Kraft wanted to blackball Bill Belichick. He didn't want him working for nobody else. Kraft wanted to be the only one who had a happy ending. Let's ring the bell for that. You might be right. You might be right. Robert Kraft maybe don't want him working for no other owner, especially a owner that he knows pretty good or very well. I think y'all correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't Blank and Kraft like pretty good friends? Yeah, as far as ownership goes, are they like real tight? I think so. You might be right there. You may have a very valid point. Ghost Pepper says Bill Belichick being an acquired taste also makes him hard to communicate with. That's what they said in the report too. He's hard to communicate with, hard to work with, and hard to efficiently work alongside. Or that is at least what the consensus is based on how every single team decided to pass. Great comment. And that's what they said in that ESPN report. Like, man, this guy is hard to work with, hard to communicate with. His way or no way. Lisa says, make no mistake about it. This team has to win, and it has to be sooner than later. Otherwise, Fontenot is going. I totally agree. I've said it before. Like, hey, if we don't, knock on wood, we have a losing season in 2024, man. Terry Fontenot, bro, your seat is gonna be very, very, very hot. I mean, scorching hot. So the Falcons, Terry Fontenot really has to win this year, man. I mean, really has to win this year. Because, you know, there's absolutely no excuses that can be given or accepted this year. None at all. Ghost Pepper says, conspiracy theory, this was all a revenge play for 2083. Maybe so. It would have been a hell of a story, though, on the flip side. If he wins 28-3 and then comes to coach the team that he beat in the 28-3 game and wins the Super Bowl with them. that probably would have been too Hollywood. You couldn't even write that in the script. Davis says, yes, Blank and Kraft are good friends. Okay, I thought so. I thought they were pretty tight. Davis says, excuse me, I don't think it was a black ball because if you read how Kraft has responded and now been able to update the facility and things since Bill is out the building, I totally disagree. There was something came out, David, where I think either Robert Kraft or a spokesperson for Kraft, they disputed their report. I think I seen that somewhere. It came out like the very next day saying this is not right. This report is false. And if that's the case, somebody is lying. That's the case. Somebody is lying. Dave says, guys, read the room. Mr. Blank is not firing the GM after only one season with Coach Morris. Mr. Blank's track record does not read that way. Not saying that he would be fired, but his seat would be hot. His seat would be extremely, extremely hot. Because, see, one thing about it, especially as a new GM, and it don't really matter who you are. You can look at Bill Belichick as an example. 4 consecutive losing seasons, your job isn't secure. No matter who you are, what your past accolades or achievements were at that point in time. And the thing about Terry Fontenot, he doesn't have any resume or any accolades to lean back on. Look at Bill Belichick, 6 Super Bowls, and they walk him out the door. So Terry can't have 4 consecutive losing seasons and then his job is secure. There's no pressure on him. Now, if we happen to lose in 2024, not saying that he'd be fired at the end of the year, but oh boy, 2025, that's definitely going to be a make or break season. The NFL, they just don't. The NFL is such a revolving door when it comes to head coaches and general managers. I can't recall the last time a general manager to survive 5 consecutive losing seasons, and has never had a winning season. You know, and as much as I like Terry at this point in time, you got to win this year. If not, that seat is going to be critically hot. Antonio says, if that's the case, John, why? Okay, you're talking to John, my bad. David says, what really is head scratching to me is that no other team even considered Belichick. I agree with you on that. And the thing about it, David, it could have been now, based on what we're saying now, the context of this conversation, maybe some teams thought he had the Falcons job. That could have been a situation too. Like, man, he going to Atlanta, bro. Like, Arthur Blank and Bill Belichick, they already got that. The rest of these interviews are just formality. He going to Atlanta. We might well look for somebody else. Not saying that's the case, but I'm just throwing out stuff. Mr. CDX for life says Hollywood ending is to win in bowl and Stinky Town. Let's ring the bell. Which we should have did in the 2012 season. Should have held on to that. I feel like I could say this forever, but should have held on to that lead at home in the NFC Championship game against San Francisco, and then went and beating the Baltimore Ravens in New Orleans. We really had our chance to do that. Dave says, I do agree that his seat will be a furnace. Yeah. And that's pretty much, the sentiment I'm saying right there. Like you just can't have 4 consecutive losing seasons. Demetrius is looking at the super chat from John and gotta say no Diddy about it. Just ring the bell. James in the building. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? So that's true, Brody. What's good, everyone? Hey, we chilling, John. What's good with you? Lisa says going 0-4 as a GM is problematic for any franchise. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. You 0-4, and like I said, you don't even have a resume where you've accomplished winning for continued period of time. Oh boy, that seat there would just be amazingly hot. Tyreek in the building. What's up, Tyreek? How you doing? Be able to try to bring that Patriot way mentality to Atlanta, which is a thing of the past, and Brady played a pivotal role in the whole mentality. He definitely did. He played a super, super duper role in it. And we see that now. We see how things have played out. Larry from the Dixon Way is in the building. What's going on, Larry? How you doing, bro? Y'all make sure to check out the Dixon Way also on YouTube as well for some excellent in-game commentary. And I spoke earlier about the collaboration of us fellow Falcons content creator, and Larry was part of that also. So make sure to check out his video that was recorded yesterday as well. It says, what's up, fam? # rise up content creators. Woody is right. If we wanted Raheem or not, if Bill wasn't a top 3 pick for the Falcons, is a bad as not signing Lamar for the injuries, but signing Kurt Angel. Let's ring the bell for that. And I love the opinions from everybody, because I can really say, like, it's about 50-50. Some people are saying, yeah, Woody got a valid point. Like Larry from the Dixon West, yeah, Woody right. Like, how he's not top 3. We're not saying you had to hire him, but you telling me he ain't the top 3 candidate. And then some people saying, like, oh, he full of shit. So I'm just glad that we're able to discuss both sides of the spectrum here. Demetrius said, if Terry's job ever comes down to being in a huge jeopardy, his song is going to be Lil Wayne, The Block is Hot, The Block is Hot. Shout out to the old Cash Money days. I think that came out, about 99, 2000? Marina in the building. What's up, Marina? Says, what's up, Toddy? Happy Sunday. # rise up. Right up to you, Marina. And with that said, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man, and chopping up with your boy on this Sunday. About to check out here. And I think we got our Uncle Steve will be on at 6 p.m., if I remember correctly. So make sure to check him out in about 30 minutes. Those of you that are still in the chat, do me a huge favor. Make sure you do hit the like button. Those of you that are gonna watch this on the replay, make sure you hit the like button as well. And one last reminder, myself and Uncle Steve will be live Thursday for the draft show. So make sure to check us out on Steve's channel, Uncle Steve's Live. So make sure to check us out on that. And speaking of our old ancient uncle. There he is. And he says, yep. So he will be on at 6. So y'all make sure to check Steve out in about 28 minutes. With that said, peace and love. I'm out of here.